Happy Friday, leaders. It's time for your weekly 3 to Grow video message accompanied along with the email. Got a few, I think, good things for you. Appreciate the feedback I got on the video format of this. Certainly something a lot of you like, so we're going to continue to do it. As a reminder, the goal of 3 to Grow is for you to take 3 minutes, read or watch this, and hopefully develop your leadership skills a little bit, and maybe even some of your personal skills as well. So here's the first idea. It's called the last 10%. Now, this is an idea I picked up from a good friend of mine, Brian Baker, down in Shelbyville, Indiana. He runs a very successful lumber yard. And we were talking one time, and he talked about that when he's having a hard conversation with one of his coworkers, that he has to have the last 10% of the conversation. And there's so much good wisdom in that for leaders, that in reality, the last 10% of whatever, fill in the blank, the last 10% is always the hardest. As a leader, some of your greatest impact happens in the last 10% of a conversation you have with a coworker. It's in the last 10% of the project as you finally bring it to fruition, and whatever action that you're doing. The last 10%, it's where it all comes together. It's where there's actionable items moving forward. It's where there's clarity and expectations. Don't shy away from the last 10%. Don't do all the work leading up to it and then leave it hanging by not following through with the last 10%. Do the hard work of leadership. Your team will be better for it, and they'll actually learn to complete the last 10% themselves, which will inevitably help you. It will help them and help your team. Okay, here's the next idea. Internal invisibility. Have you ever been so close to something that you couldn't see it? Maybe it's something in your room, or you literally walked right past something and you had to turn around because you completely missed it. Many times the things that we are closest to, we have the hardest time seeing them because of familiarity, maybe because of blinders. And this is especially true when it comes to our actions and words as a leader. We have acted in a certain way for so long that we don't even realize how those actions are impacting others. We've said things for so long that we don't even realize the impact. For example, using the phrase cancer to describe coworkers we're having difficulty or troubles with. We make the same comments repeatedly and the same actions repeatedly, and we aren't paying attention. In order to overcome this internal invisibility, we have to ask people to help us see. We have to ask someone to help us remove the blinders or see around them. We have to ask for feedback. We have to embrace that feedback and not try to defend ourselves. So here's the question I want you to ask your team this week. Okay, you ready? You're not going to want to do it because it's going to be really hard and it's probably going to make you mad. But I need you to do it anyways, okay? Here's the question. What is something I do that really bugs you, that you wish I would stop doing? What is something I do that really bugs you that you wish I would stop doing? See, I knew you wouldn't want to do that, but you have to. It may be an action. It may be a lack of action. It may be words you say or words you don't say. It may be some nonverbal behavior. Regardless, when they tell you what it is, you're going to have one of two responses. You won't even realize you're doing it because, again, you can't see it. Or two, and this is maybe more likely, you're going to try to justify and explain why it's okay for you to do it, and it's actually their fault for not understanding your intention behind it. So when you ask the question, commit. You're not going to defend yourself. You're not going to explain or justify. Just ask the question, listen, commit to understanding why they feel that way, and then commit to doing better. It's going to be really hard, but it will be worth it. Okay, quote of the week. Don't find fault, find a remedy. Don't find fault, find a remedy. That was said by Henry Ford. Leaders, you make a difference every day. That difference can be for good or for bad. The choice is yours. So seriously, thank you for all you do inside the organization. You are making a difference. Don't forget to think differently, lead courageously, and live passionately, and have a great weekend.